Hi, everybody. Cohh here to talk about a very hot topic that has been making the rounds lately. And that topic is pay to win. Pay to win is a definition that, for me personally, has evolved over time. As I move through life, I get different perspectives, I get new information. And based on that, my feelings on it tend to, on everything, let alone pay to win, tend to change and kind of evolve with the process. Back in the day, I thought pay to win solely was for PvP. I thought the winning was against other people. So games in like early World of Tanks, for instance, where you could buy golden ammo and that's the only way you could get it, and it did more damage. That was pay to win for me. Back in some of the old MMOs, you could buy attack potions and mana potions that you couldn't get normally. You could only pay for them. That was pay to win. However, over time, as companies have found new and innovative ways to make more money from gamers, they have tried new and different things that has very much muddied what that is. So today, I'd kind of like to go over my quick thoughts on what pay to win is now, and most importantly, what it should be and it's not. So let's talk about what pay to win is. Pay to win, in the broadest sense, is when a player can pay a game to do something in that game that somebody that can't put any money into it can't do. That is a very broad definition, but I think that these days it's a very broad term. Now, here's the thing. That second part that I just said is the most important. Pay to win these days is an incredibly broad term. It has since gone from a relatively simplistic black or white to a much larger gray area. Pay to win is now an umbrella term that can cover things such as pay to progress, pay to win versus other people, pay to break down barriers that free-to-play players have a very small percent chance to do. All sorts of things. It is paid to have a big advantage. Now, the thing is this is in the interest of game developers, because the more muddy they get that topic, the less they have to kind of own up to a lot of it. And what has happened over the years is we have now gotten to the point where, just like in some subscription and sports games and stuff like that, we now see developers testing the waters in just how far they can take it. Now, the reason I'm making this particular video is because a game recently came out called Diablo Immortal. And Diablo Immortal is a great example of a company seeing just how far they can take it. Of all the different things pay to win has, Diablo Immortal almost touches every single one of them. They have the cosmetic system. They have the pay to progress system. They have the pay to make your gear stronger system with the awakening system. They have the slightly randomization aspect, the gambling aspect, if you will, in terms of like how you upgrade things and what you get from your purchased items and the upgrades that they give you. It is a good example of really seeing how much money you can pull out of your player base by giving them tons of different ways, tons of different options to spend money on the product. Now, let's kind of get into the nitty-gritty here. Is pay to win bad? Not necessarily. Now, the reason I say that, and I know that's going to make a lot of people go, wait, what? It's not necessarily bad if you know exactly what you're getting into and you understand exactly the entire picture of what you're buying into. If you just sold your company and you got a couple hours to play a day, and you're literally sitting on millions of dollars, and you're like, you know what? I want to play a game, and I want to spend a bunch of money on it, and I want to see all the flashy lights and do all that. That's your prerogative. You can do that. And it's no one's place to tell you if that's how you have fun. So at what it is, pay to win is not necessarily bad. But here is the so important second part of this. In a situation that we have today, we have companies that are doing everything they can to obfuscate and cloud and cover how much and how many of these mechanics are in their game. And that is the problem. When you buy a game, a computer game, there's this little thing called an ESRB rating. It might be all audiences, it might be teen, it might be mature. And when you look at that, there's even a list under it. This game is mature because it has sexual actions and violence, and it has bad language. When you buy one of those games and you look at that little rating, you know exactly what you're getting into because it's right there in front of your face. If you go to buy a pack of cigarettes, there's going to be a big warning on it that says these products are addictive and will eventually kill you. But it's your choice to use them or not. That is what Pay2Win is lacking. That is the problem. Because it's completely unregulated, and most importantly, there's nobody watching this stuff. Imagine if there was a system where if any game had any type of put more money into it mechanic after you purchase it, even if it's free, then there was a little box that showed you a level from 1 to 5, 1 being the minor and 5 being the max of additional transactions in that game. So like in every aspect you could spend money on added to that point. So you look at a little box and it says 1 out of 5 for additional transactions. And the 1 would be cosmetics. Oh, okay. Well, I don't really consider that Pay2Win. Some people might, especially if there's like gamble loot boxes or something. So, okay, 1 of 5, right? Totally, it's very benign, very weak. You can spend more money on it, but it's not really going to do much. Well, what if a game had a cosmetic system, also a mount system, and then also the ability to buy crafting items that will save you a bunch of time? Well, maybe that's a 3 of 5. What if it's a game like Warframe that lets you just buy stuff that you can normally spend hours farming? And maybe that's a 2 of 5. What if it's a game like Diablo Immortal, where there's a season pass, there's cosmetics, there's purchasable currency, there's, the ability to unlock items, there's the legendary token system? That's probably going to be a 5 of 5. And it's the kind of thing where people could see that and be like, whoa, now that I'm informed on this, I do not want to get involved in a game that's going to do everything in its power to suck money out of me. So I feel that at heart, the idea of letting people enjoy their gaming in whatever way they do, even if that includes pumping money into it, that's okay, because nobody should tell someone else how to have fun. But the idea that companies are in this totally free zone of being able to base their games on this kind of stuff, to design their games around these mechanics, and the customer doesn't know it before putting money into it, that is a huge issue. Now, personally, I don't really like pay-to-win games. I'm an old folk, and I know a lot of people would probably be here too. I like to buy something, and I like it to be mine. There are games that I would rate as a 1 or 2 in that little system I was just talking about. Games like Warframe, even Path of Exile, if you're one of those people that believe cosmetics is the end game and that you can buy and look amazing. Some people feel that way. I'm okay with a little bit, and I think most people are too, if it's a little bit. But the second you start getting to those 3s, like Lost Ark, and the 4s and 5s, like Diablo Immortal, that's where I take a step back and I say, you know what? I'm not interested in playing this. Most importantly, I'm not interested in showing people how good it can get, because then I'm contributing to that same thing of obfuscating what's actually there. So that's why I don't do it. That's my personal opinion, and that's why I don't really touch those games. On all of this, now as we come to the end of this discussion, I do kind of want to point out that not only has my opinion and how I feel about Pay2Win changed over time, but it may continue to change. Because again, if new stuff comes out, if new things happen, I like to think that my opinions are fluid as I get new information. That being said, everything I've just said is where I am right now. And the final thing I'm going to say is that anytime you talk about a rating system, it is so important to mention that as you get to those 3, 4s, and 5s, the fact that we don't even know to identify those types of things, yet we're still marketing that kind of stuff to younger kids. If you want to point at a problem with our current system and say, that's it, that's it. The fact that that the companies are loading these bright, giant dopamine hit games with these, I'm going to take as much money from you mechanics, and then they don't even let parents, let alone kids, know this stuff. That's a huge deal. And also one of the main reasons I don't do this, because I know that there's a lot of young kids that watch Twitch. And most importantly, I know, and this is the same reason I don't do gambling streams, I know that there's no barrier between somebody not logged into Twitch in watching what I do, and that is not okay with me for that kind of stuff. So anyway, that is where I sit with this. That is my current opinion on it. The reason I'm making this video is because, frankly, I've talked this issue into the ground, and I don't want to anymore. If you would like to discuss this stuff, please feel free to do it in the comments, or at a, better yet, not on the internet, because that's a terrible place. But I kind of want to focus on games, and I want to focus more importantly on the games that aren't pay to win, because I don't play them for that very reason. So thank you for watching. I hope this helps. I know already that so many of you disagree with me and everything I've said in this. That's totally fine. I respect your opinion. You respect mine, and we'll still be buds and get a beer after work. On that note, I appreciate it, and I will see you at twitch.tv/CohhCarnage. Thanks.